Hello, I'm Christopher Michaud, Director of Public Health for the town of Dartmouth. It is now January of 2023, and I hope everyone had a wonderful holiday season. And we are back again to talk to you about the proposed Title V changes that the Mass Department of Environmental Protection is proposing. We have been underway with reviewing limited public records provided by Mass DEP, as well as other sources of records from other agencies of the Commonwealth, as well as other sources of records that have been made available to us online. One of the concerns that has been expressed so openly by the public throughout all of this is the lack of transparency by Mass DEP. The public has been concerned that Mass DEP has shielded records, and particularly the names and composition of the Nitrogen Sensitive Areas Subcommittee, who was the subcommittee that arrived at these proposals. Well, I would like to let you all know that on August 30th of 2022, the town of Dartmouth requested records of Mass DEP. The records that we requested had very different topics, but two of the topics were who was on the NSA subcommittee and how did you go about with the composition of this group. That was made on August 30th of 2022. We had to file 2 appeals with the Secretary of State of Massachusetts to force DEP to provide these records. So finally, after our second appeal on December 1st, over 50 days after those records were due to be produced, they finally produced those records to us on December 7th of 2022. I'd like you to listen to a video that is from Mass DEP, an individual named Mary Beth Chubb from the Boston office.
Anonymous asks, where can we find the list of people and organizations who are on the stakeholder committees you mentioned, including the NSA subcommittee? Mary Beth?
So you would submit a public info request through our website and request that information, and then we would provide you with that information.
This video is from an informational session that Mass DEP held on November 16th to advise the public of these regulations. And as you have heard, Ms. Chubb said, file a public records request on 11/16. That was many months after I had requested that information. She acknowledges that it's public. Mass DEP was aware that we were looking for that information and that they were withholding it from us in contravention of law and regulations of the Commonwealth. So it is overtly apparent that Mass DEP was withholding documents because apparently they must have been ashamed of the Nitrogen Sensitive Areas Subcommittee selection. So what I'd like you to see on the screen right now is the names of the individuals, but more importantly, the composition. You will see that this group was comprised of activist groups, large engineering firms, many, many employees from Mass DEP, even the Audubon Society. There is no local representation by a city or town. We do not have the impartial agencies of the Commonwealth participating in this, particularly the Mass Division of Fisheries and Wildlife, who is a non-partisan counterpart to Audubon. We have Division of Marine and Fisheries, again, is a non-partisan counterpart to the activist groups. They're impartial. More importantly, we know that we have the Buzzards Bay Action Committee, and they weren't involved. We also have the Buzzards Bay National Estuaries Program, and they were not involved. And these are 2 separate, distinct action groups that are comprised of cities and towns in the Buzzards Bay area.
And I would encourage the department not to get distracted by some of the noise that you're hearing and some of the other comments about the difficulties associated with upgrading systems within 5 years. I believe your reg structure has it right.
This video is from a Mr. Andrew Gottlieb. Mr. Andrew Gottlieb, as you may recall from the prior screen, is one of the NSA subcommittee members. He is also on the Title V Stakeholder Group committee from Mass DEP. That is a committee with the regulatory purpose under Title V. Therefore, he is an official serving in the capacity of Mass DEP as an advisory committee. He says that the opposition is noise. He had his opportunity through all of these meetings that we're still awaiting information on. And he says that our opportunity to speak is noise. The last slide I'd like you to look at is Mass DEP's mission statement. As I mentioned, some information has come to us that's widely available online as we're taking a comprehensive look at the legitimacy of Mass DEP. And their mission statement, around the 4th line, says, "An equity for all people of the Commonwealth, provide meaningful and inclusive opportunities for people to participate in agency decisions that affect their lives." So apparently, Mr. Gottlieb, as a quasi-state official of Mass DEP, who had his opportunity and was expressing his opportunity once more, felt that our limited opportunity that is minimally provided to us by law is noise. Mass DEP, as you can see by their mission statement, did not live up to the content of their mission statement, because I am waiting to discover where Mass DEP provided meaningful, inclusive opportunity for people to participate in this agency decision outside of the one-sided public hearing process and these sales pitches in their informational meetings. Mass DEP should have assembled a better stakeholder group with better participation by all people affected by these regulations. So with that being said, we do have some limited opportunity left. There are 2 informational sessions that Mass DEP is holding later this month. They're holding one on January 17th at 6 p.m., and that is hybrid. And you have to pre-register at the link as shown on the screen. They have another one on Wednesday, January 18th, and that is going to be in person as well as hybrid. And again, you have to pre-register. The in-person on the 18th is going to be held at the UMass Dartmouth Conference Hall. And we are working to see if UMass Dartmouth will allow us to place up some of our mobile signboards that the town of Dartmouth has to facilitate people who are unfamiliar with this sprawling campus and to guide them through the ring road to the proper parking lot and then from the parking lot to the proper building. There are 2 more public hearings scheduled, one for the 24th and one for the 25th of January, both at 6 p.m. Again, these are virtual, and you have to go to the information as shown on the screen to register to participate. Lastly, on Monday, January 30th, is the last day for public comments to be submitted in the written form. They have to be submitted to dep.talks@mass.gov. In the subject line, you must put Title V and Watershed Permit, and be sure to put your name and contact information. Thank you.